I begin with the headlines, and there's really only one story. Financial Times, Joe Biden under new pressure to quit race as Democrat disquiet spreads. First of two New York Times stories. Democrats go public with panic about Biden amid fears of an electoral debacle. Wall Street Journal, Biden is like Yoda inside the big money battle to salvage the Democratic ticket. The Washington Post reported this morning that Joe Manchin, senator from West Virginia, threatened to break with Biden before senior Democrats intervened. Nobody wants to be the first one to knife Julius Caesar. I don't know about that. Amid escalating pressure, Biden steps up efforts to reassure Democrats, is another Tyler Pager and Matt Visor story in the Washington Post. Because, of course, they're worried about their own skins. I'm worried about the country. This is a 16-page article. If you're watching on the Salem News Channel, I'm holding it in my hands. I showed it a different article last night, which I'll come to in special report. The 16 pages are entitled, Biden's lapses are said to be increasingly common and worrisome. This is not news. We all knew this. It's just now public. Joe Biden is not competent to be president. And this was the subject last night on Special Report, when Julia Manchester and Trey Gowdy and I joined Brett Baer on the panel. The first question I was asked was by Brett about the president. And here is my response, cut number 18.
Hugh, what about not only the New York Times write-up, and obviously we've seen a number of write-ups, anonymous sources, quote, freaking out inside the White House, but then the explanation that we just got minutes ago from that pool report about the foreign travel.
You know, it was a 6-minute speech that he gave at a fundraiser this hour, Brett. I watched the Karine Jean-Pierre hour-long fencing, which really was, please leave me alone. I don't have anything for you other than he had a bad night, and we hear you, and he hears us, and we hear him, and we are here together. It was a bad press conference about a bad debate. There's no getting out of this cycle. I'll add that that New York Times piece that you mentioned, it's 16 pages long, reading it this afternoon. And this from the Bangor Daily News came out 2 hours ago. Donald Trump is going to win the election and democracy will be just fine. The author is Jared Golden, Democrat, 2nd District in Maine. I think the ice is breaking. Yeah. I don't think Karine Jean-Pierre had enough duct tape to stop that.
That is an understatement. It was a pretty horrific press conference because she's defending the indefensible. We came round again to whether or not I thought he would be the nominee. Cut number 19 from Special Report.
Hugh, I don't have a candidate casino tonight, but long ago we played this and we put, bets there, the $100, and would Joe Biden be the nominee? Looking at what we see now, do you think that Joe Biden is going to be the nominee of the Democratic Party?
I don't see how he is, Brett. In fact, I think the fact we're having this conversation raises the question as to whether or not he ought to be the president. And that goes to capacity. The decline goes from infirmity, and I've been using that word for a couple of years, to incoherence, and we saw that on Thursday night, to incapacity. The president of the United States cannot be not capable of conducting the presidency 24/7, 365. And I believe these early indications from Democrats and even former Speaker Pelosi, that's pretty bold. Is it a condition? I mean, no one would have dared say that except Nancy Pelosi. And Congressman Clyburn bringing up Kamala Harris, he'll support her. The signs are there. The lightning's in the sky. I do not think he's going to be their nominee. I don't know that he makes it to the end of his term.
I don't know. That doesn't give me any joy. I don't want to have anyone age visibly, but I am concerned about the country. And I think we all have to be concerned about the country.